Well, I began by finding an article in the DMU newspaper. It was about the Estrogen Riding Society group, part of the DMU, and they did an article saying the Estrogen are fighting to get more and more people actively involved with the local community through their unique volunteering scheme with the local RDA. The RDA is Riding for Disabled. The DMU group society did a lot of participation and charity work with this group, this amazing group. But in this newspaper article, they were trying to raise more awareness about what the work they did and trying to find more volunteers for the group. And I naturally thought it would be a great idea if I got in touch with them and ask if I could do a promotional video to help them as well raise awareness to promote what really they actually did for the charity and to promote awareness for other people to get in touch and volunteer as well. After getting in touch with the lady who ran the whole society, I explained what I wanted to do and what I was going to do as my brief. And they thought it was a really good idea. They really enjoyed the fact that they would be able to have a promotional video which they could use too, and to promote the awareness of the charity and put it on their blogs. They had a blog post. But as it came to the day of me actually shooting, I had a bit of a setback. I had an email through saying that I had previously already sent them consent forms for people to sign to say that I could actually film. But then on that day, she came back to me saying that a lot of these children, part of the RDA society, were mostly adopted, and that there would be a bigger problem of trying to get their consent because it would have to go through the guardians, and the process would take too long. It would take about 3 weeks for them to actually get every consent form back. And also, I needed a consent from the person who owned the land and the instructors, which evidently was quite time consuming for me as this would have been due in quite soon. So I said to them that because of time limit, that I was quite limited with my time, I would not be able to do it for the project for due in time. So I told them that I would happily, after this project was done, I would personally do a project for them after, but this would not be able to be filmed in the next 3 weeks because from time consuming I could not make it. After that setback, I then went back to the newspaper and looked into the Leicester Mercury newspaper and found an article on this business called Demonstrate Arts. Demonstrate Arts is a physical theatre company which was produced by one of my friends, and they, again, their article was trying to promote the company to find new people to join. So I thought it would be a great idea to ask if I could actually do maybe a promotional video for them because they owned a website which they could use the promotional video on their website made by me to promote their company. So then I proceeded to pitch my idea to Kane, and he felt it was a really good idea. He really enjoyed the concept of it. So we felt it was a good idea if we both had a business meeting and we both sat down and I would explain to him what my intentions were, what my ideas were, and also what his ideas were too, what he wanted me to add into the video as well. And after a meeting, I gave him my own personal consent forms that I had amended for the production. He then proceeded to go and see his class because he had a class that evening, and he managed to get them all signed off in that day. So I had permission to film the following day. We agreed that maybe it would have been a better approach if I came to one of the sessions to see how everything worked and how everything flowed. So I did. The following day, I went to one of the actual sessions and got more of an inside idea of how I could go about the filming and what I could actually capture and what ability these people I'll be filming were at. So then, after going to one of the workshops, I had more of an inside idea of the concept and how everything flowed, and ultimately gave me a better idea of how I was going to shoot the video. So after going to the workshop, I came back and I drew up a storyboard. I researched into other promotional documentary videos that promote sport and tried to see the concept of how they use their camera shots to elicit different aspects of the sport, so the enjoyment, the excitement, to even beautify the sport as well. So I did a lot of research into lots of the shot ideas. I then continued to write a script, but I couldn't follow the specific brief for the script because this was real time in the present. This is not what I had planned. So I managed to convert the script into what questions I was going to ask the children and the people who run the academy. So the storyboard is all prepared, the script questions are all prepared as to what I want the monologue, the dialogue going to overlap the different shots were going to be. I have release forms done and consent forms done on location. I am allowed to film, so everything is ready and prepared in time for 2 days when I'm going to film my first shoot.